Well, the UK government will strip the man formerly known as Prince Andrew of his honorary title of Vice Admiral, his last remaining military rank. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was stripped of his other honorary military titles by his mother, the late Queen Elizabeth II, in 2022, and his brother King Charles has stripped him of his royal titles over his ties to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. President Donald Trump had this reaction to the latest developments.
I feel very badly. I mean, it's a terrible thing that's happened to the family. That's been a tragic situation. And it's too bad. I mean, I feel badly for the family.
Joining me now is News Corp columnist Angella Mollard. Angela, good to see you. Thanks for joining me. Look, this really is now the final nail in the coffin for Andrew.
That's right. And there's a lot of criticism that this is taking it one step too far, that this is cancel culture gone too far, taking away his admiral title. Now, look, I don't have an issue with this. This is an honorary title. This does not relate to the work he did as a member of the Navy and in the Falklands War. When he finished after a 20-year career, his status was that of Commodore. These honorary positions are given out to all members of the royal family. They're an honour. For instance, the Princess of Wales is Colonel of the Irish Guards. William has several military titles on top of his own service within the military. So by taking this away, this is an honorary title. He has now been shown to be dishonourable, and to me that seems reasonable.
I completely agree. I think this is very reasonable and he absolutely deserves to get this title stripped, definitely. Now, Angela, you've written a great piece to the Daily Telegraph about how Andrew's daughters Beatrice and Eugenie, now have one option: to voluntarily renounce their royal titles. You write, quote, "Foregoing the titles is an act of renewal, a gesture that signals integrity and public accountability. It would be seen as a mature, front-footed family soldiering act that shows self-awareness and respect for both the King and William's preference for a smaller royal family." Angela, why do you think that there's no choice now? Because I guess some would say, oh, well, they had nothing to do with their father's indiscretions. It's not their fault. But is this more now about accountability?
Yes, this is in no way connected to the fact they are not complicit in what happened with their father and mother about those lies. Why I'm suggesting it now is this is an ideal opportunity to step back from those titles. They are not working members of the royal family. They're not working royals. None of their cousins, apart from William and Harry, have the HRH titles. So Princess Anne's children, Prince Edward's children do not have those HRH and princess titles. Were they to voluntarily relinquish them right now, what that would be showing is that this is an opportune time for the royal family, for the King, for Prince William to inherit a royal family that is slimmed down as they want, and for the two daughters to exist, yes, as members of the royal family, but without those titles and what they denote. The other point is that those titles were chosen by Andrew and Fergie because of their character, because of their pomposity. Unlike Anne or Edward, they wanted their girls to be princesses. They love the status, and that's what's got them into trouble. Not Beatrice and Eugenie, their parents. I think Beatrice and Eugenie separating themselves from their parents' ethics, morality, character would be a good thing in the long run.
I agree.
Also, it actually opens the door also to when William becomes king, quite reasonably stripping Harry of his title, and perhaps down the track, Charlotte and Louis's children not having titles either, because they're unnecessary.
Well, there was once upon a time when we thought no royal would be able to be stripped of their title, and look what's happened over the last couple of weeks. And you're right, will this impact Harry and Meghan in the future once Prince William becomes king? I guess remain to be seen, but many of us are hoping for that. Now, look, speaking of Prince William, he has been hugged and mobbed by royal fans following his first engagement in Brazil, where he's, of course, hosting his Earthshot Prize Environmental Awards and attending the COP30 UN Climate Change Summit. But earlier in the day, I thought it was great. He took off his shoes and socks and got stuck into a game of volleyball. Have a look. Angela, I just love that. The fans love him.
They do, and there's no question he's had a few lessons, don't you think?
Yes, I agree.
I'm pretty sure he's had some lessons there. Look, this is the thing. This is what the Royals do so brilliantly. That he's there for the Earthshot Prize. This is an endeavour of his own making. He's there for the climate summit, which his father, has briefed him on. It's such an important thing. He's in Brazil. He's so warmly regarded, and these are the difference. These are the things and their portfolios that the Royals can lean into, where they make such a difference, while at the same time having a bit of fun on the side. Kate and William do this so well. And I can imagine that in the lead up to this visit, what had been unraveling with Prince Andrew really threatened to overshadow that, as it did with the King's visit to the Pope. That's where you've got to get the moral certainty and credibility back with the royal family, because there's people like William, Kate, Princess Anne, the King, working their butts off.
Oh, look, absolutely, they are, and they're keeping it all together right now. Now, Prince Harry has announced his trip to Canada, just as, of course, his brother William stages that Earthshot Prize in Rio. He's going to be going to Canada to meet with veterans, members of the armed forces, community and military charities. But, Angela, I've got to ask, do you think maybe he's seeking to upstage his older brother on the world stage?
Look, the fact this announcement came when it did, virtually just as William was about to start his first engagement in Brazil, the timing's appalling. And the irony of this, there's hypocrisy in it, because Harry, in his book Spare, writes about the royal family counter announcing and to try and get attention from each other. He knows how the royal family works. The meeting between his team and the King's team was supposed to work to stop this sort of thing happening. Harry actually wants it to work better. So how has it gone so wrong now? How has he made an announcement just when his brother, after all this attention on Andrew, it's now drawn focus from what William is doing? I just don't think that's an accident, but it's really poor management by their teams. Whoever is responsible, there is even if that announcement at the end of the day, at first day in Brazil, it would have been better than when that announcement was made.
Yeah, that's why I'm suspicious too. I just feel like it has been done possibly deliberately, but even if not, just so poor on his end. Angella Mollard, lovely to see you as always. Thanks so much for joining me.